So I figured I'd do this a little bit different tonight compared to, when I'm just sitting behind my desk, nice and comfortable, you know, behind the computer screen and whatnot. I'm actually out here walking. Is it a fucking owl? Oh my god. I'm actually out here doing a little walking and stuff. So just just to let people know, I am a real person. You know what I'm saying? Got a hand and everything. You know what I'm saying? All right. So I'm seeing a whole lot of controversy going on with with everything that Trump is doing. Sorry, the owl is really distracting me. It's kind of freaky. But yeah, I'm seeing a whole lot of controversy, not just among black people in general, because it's happening amongst everybody in general. And here's the thing that a lot of you people don't understand when it comes to Trump. Donald Trump is a certified bona fide liar. And it just baffles me the fact that people forgot all the things that he tried to do last term he ran. They totally forgot about that, right? Uh-huh. They tried to act like, or he pretty much fooled everybody into thinking that, I'm a changed person, I'm different now and whatnot. And that's obviously not the case, right? Well, here we are. Sorry about that. I had to get on a little pause for a minute. Where was I? Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, everything that he's doing now should not surprise people. It doesn't surprise me none. It doesn't surprise me none at all. All right, but y'all need to also understand too that like everything that he's doing was already predetermined before he even started doing it. Because this is a part of a much larger agenda that y'all just don't understand. Some of us do, some don't. But this is how this works. There's 3 layers of consciousness when it comes to stuff like this. There's obviously the unconscious. There's the middle ground where they are half awake. And then there's the higher ground where they are fully conscious. The fully conscious see the bigger picture. The half awake, middle conscious, can only see half of the full story, of the full picture. And obviously the unconscious can't see a damn thing. They're just the complete ignorant. They just say and do things and don't have a fucking clue of what the hell they're saying or talking about. So there's a little fight. There's a controversy between those 3 layers, because you got black people saying, "Oh, this is all y'all's fault out here that didn't vote, blah blah blah," because so some of y'all saying that it doesn't matter who's president, and yes, that is true. That is exactly right. It does not matter who the hell is president. Okay, it does not matter who's president, right? It does not matter. And I truly know and believe this, because here's a perfect example right here. Okay, y'all think that if we voted, that was going to make a difference in the vote count. Hillary had the popular vote and still lost. Okay? Me to remind y'all that, or just in case y'all forgot about that. All right? Or another scenario where the popular vote actually happened and actually worked during Obama's term when everybody voted. But guess what? Obama did not do a goddamn thing for the black community. No president has ever done a fucking thing for the black community except try to make our lives even worse. They try to make our lives hell. And that is the honest to God truth. That is why I am also in the in the group that says it doesn't matter who the hell's president. Kamala could have got in there, but guess what? It does not matter because their orders come from higher up above them. And them and the orders that come from above them that are above them, it comes from up even higher above them. There's 3 sections to the pyramid, right? You got the slave class at the very bottom, which is us. We're the nobodies, right? Well, if you don't know, you know. We're the nobodies. And let me also tell you, even your presidents, even your elites, they are still on the bottom rung of the pyramid. They're at the top of the bottom rung of the pyramid. That also are connected with the banks, the central banks, and, you know, pretty much all the money, the power, etc., etc. But even there's a class even above them. And even with that class, there's a class above them. The top of the pyramid, which are the ones that are truly running the matrix. They're the ones that are pulling all the strings. For real, for real. The ones that are determining all of the outcomes that are happening, right? They're the ones that have the actual say-so at the end of the day, and there ain't shit that we can do about it because we are literally at the very, 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 very bottom of the pyramid, and all we can do is say yes and no and whatever, and still, it does not matter at the end of the day. All we can go is left, right, you know, we can only go in the direction that they point us in because we're like the fucking lemmings of the matrix, right? No matter how conscious we are, okay? So let's get that one on out the way and agree. And again, I mean, we could agree to disagree on that, and that's cool. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with that. Because half the time, majority of people don't even watch my videos anyways or care what we're saying, because here's the bottom line to this. You can't please every damn body. It's impossible. It is literally virtually impossible. And it is impossible because of those 3 layers of the pyramids. Okay? Those 3 layers of consciousness. There's always a confliction between the 3, because that's just how it goes. Because as you go from the bottom and you start rising up to the top, there's a different level of frequencies. All right, there's different frequencies. Obviously, at the very bottom, those are low frequencies, and at the very top, those are high frequencies. So, for instance, if there's a relationship between somebody that is at the very bottom, down here, low frequency, compared to someone that's up here at the high frequency, those two, and many of you probably are going through this right now, but those two are never going to really fully agree on most things, because they are literally seeing in a completely different light, in a completely different spectrum, right? So there's no getting around that. So it doesn't matter how much I come out here and try to say what's right and what's wrong. People are, at the end of the day, certain people are going to believe you. Certain people are going to disbelieve you, whatever. They're not. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. But again, backing it back up to the whole Trump ordeal. Like I said, this is not, this does not come as any surprise to me as to what the hell is happening right now. What is surprisingly happening right now is all the crazy shit going on, the plane crashes and the fires. Haven't you noticed there seems to be a correlation between the fires and the fucking plane crashes? When there's a plane crash, it's a fire. Yesterday there was a plane crash, but over there in Asheville, North Carolina, yeah, Asheville, once again, yeah, a wildfire was started. How long it's going to last, I don't know. Hopefully it gets put out. I'm not trying to deal with that shit. That is a little too close for comfort. It was already hell enough dealing with that hurricane that came through here. Okay, but yeah. And somehow it flooded in the mountains. I'm still trying to figure that out. Asheville is extremely hilly, extremely mountainous and hilly. I don't know where the hell that water was able to to sustain itself at. That's just crazy. There's a hill and just about almost every turn that you can think about. There might be some areas where there's like a valley, and that's probably where it really flooded. That's probably the only place it can flood, truthfully. Because anywhere else, it'll just roll. But whatever. I'm not going to get into what the hell happened in Asheville. You know, what's done is done. And there's nothing that we can really do about it anymore. So, yeah. All you can do is just try to rebuild. But hell, how are you going to rebuild when they're constantly trying to destroy it? And I honestly think they're trying to destroy it because that area in particular over there is a lot of mineral deposits and so on and so forth. Lithium. Like, there's a lot of mineral deposits in that area. Okay? There's a lot of geomines in that area. That's where I used to go and buy a lot of my crystals from. It was from Asheville. Because they had some of the strongest crystals that I've come upon. You know, especially amethyst. Amethyst is by crystal, man. You know, not just because I'm, born in the month of February and whatnot, but yeah, no, I completely resonate with the amethyst. But yeah, I used to go there all the time because they had the best selection of crystals that you could find. I mean, price-wise and everything, But anyways, yeah. So, I mean, all that shit going on, like, and believe me, it's really fucked up what they did in LA. I don't think that it's any coincidence that fires just suddenly started in LA. I think somebody definitely set those fires. Why they did, I don't know. All I know is that area is definitely the root chakra of the planet. So why are they attempting to try and demolish the root chakra of the planet? Not to mention California's economy. And I think this is really what's happening. It has to something. Oh, hold on. It has to be something economically, because California's economy is one of the top 10 in the world, probably top 5, just because of how much money comes out of California. You got Silicon Valley, LA, need I say more? That's what everything. I mean, the average house price in LA is $1 million. And I ain't talking about no big house. I'm talking about a little small 1,300 square foot home is $1 million. So can you imagine the bill that came out of that bitch? I believe I posted it on X. I think it was well over $200 billion. Who the hell's going to pay for that? Nobody. No insurance company is going to pay for that. That's going to come back and definitely haunt the economy like no other. So, and here we go now with Trump talking about, with this federal funding freeze. And I think that's honestly just another extra part to the destruction that they are trying to cause. As I told y'all in the last videos, that they were trying to bring this shit down. It was a race to the bottom. And that still stands even till today. I still say that they are still trying to destroy all this shit, the reset, because they want to go digital. And they want to go digital because as soon as, a little bit before Donald Trump got in, he was already talking about digital currencies, specifically XRP. Huh? And not only that, they kept posting that picture up with him, Brad Garlinghouse, and his lawyer with Donald Trump all in the same photo. So you already know what the hell is about to happen. But we've been telling people for a long time that XRP was going to be the railing that everything was going to flow on. Right? Because again, it is the only token, the only asset that had to deal with a quote unquote lawsuit, which the lawsuit was honestly, it was a fake out. It was a total fake out. There was no real lawsuit. They just wanted the public to believe that, because that's what I know. Okay. And now that the lawsuit is getting ready to end, it is going to be the only asset out there with regulatory clarity. Is that a coincidence? No, of course not. No coincidence whatsoever. But that is the direction that we are heading. I told people way back in 2020, you can see that video I posted. I told people they were going to go digital. Okay. That means they're going to, and I also told people that it was a wealth transfer. That's what's happening that's what's really and truly happening right now. With the federal funding freeze, they're stopping the money coming to you. Now, I know some people like to look at this on the other end and say, this is actually a good thing because that stops the government from spending and yada, yada, yada. Well, you have to understand they're letting them spend up the shit because that is what's causing inflation. You go look at the rant video that I made. I was talking about that when I was saying that it's not going to matter with inflation because they can't stop spending. And that's what I'm talking about. That directly correlates with this federal funding freeze. It is the money that they kept spending and giving out and yada, yada, yada. Money they did not have. That is why we are over $36 trillion in freaking debt that we are never going to pay back, ever. So what is the only option? Well, looks like we're going to have to crash the damn dollar, right? Reset the system and transfer because again, energy is not destroyed. It is only merely transferred. Okay. Transfer this energy, this money into another type of asset. Digital currencies. And with digital currencies will come the digital IDs, the digital credit scores, social credit scores that are going to be digital. They're even going as far as to chipping and marking people. Okay, yada, yada, yada. I'm not going to get into that with the whole trying to correlate that with the Bible or anything like that. Okay. I'm not trying to get into that. But yeah. All of that stuff is coming down the line. Because let me tell you this. And I know this may sound crazy. And I know a lot of y'all not going to believe me. But I'll even post a little, the time date underneath the file where it was first created originally and when it was created. That was well back in 2013. In 2013, during the springtime, sometime between March and April, I was having these dreams, these visions, if you will. I can't call them dreams anymore because one of them is definitely happening. So it was definitely a vision because it was so vivid. It was so clear. I could see, smell, hear, like I felt like I was there, And I had these for 7 days in a row. There's the key number there, 7. I had them for 7 days in a row. And the one that obviously stands out the most was the one where I saw people, like there was these soldier looking people. They were dressed up. They looked like soldiers, but they really weren't. They're more like kind of like National Guard looking. Well, obviously now we know that was ICE. And what I was seeing was those people going door to door, beating on people's door, kicking on doors, rounding people up, basically, is what I saw, because the dream didn't last long. It just gave me an overall scenery of what I saw. But this is exactly what I was seeing people thrown on the airplanes, flown back to wherever country that they came from. And it wasn't just one type of people. It was all sorts of people. of multiple races. It was multiple people of multiple races that were rounded up and sent back to wherever the hell they think that they came from. You know, I mean, even people that were said to be citizens were still gathered up and sent somewhere else. People that had been in the country for the majority of their life were still packed up, shipped up, and rounded up and taken off somewhere. Okay? And everything I'm seeing now, like, it's exactly what I saw. And that was back in 2013. That was before Trump was even a thought to be president. But I'm telling y'all, if all 7 of those dreams come true, because I saw even further after the immigration thing, and it's not good. It's really not good, people. You know, after this, they started coming after other people that, you know, like people that didn't have some kind of paper or whatever, or vaccination or whatever, and you know, so in the dream it was certain shots. I didn't know what that meant at the time. I'm like, what the hell? But it was, you know, certain medical shots and records and whatever. You know, even them, they were also rounded up. I really hope this doesn't happen. I really hope not. But there has got to be a connection or correlation as to why they are creating so many tiny homes, tiny communities. Because that's what I was seeing. I was seeing these little small houses, like, you know, they look like concentration camps, basically. But, you know, they were able to get people in them because they made them look nice. They made them look welcoming, you know. It's just like the cheese on the mousetrap. So people were easily going and taking the bait. And every time that happened, you know, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And yeah, like I said, it just, people that weren't chipped up or vaccinated was literally forcefully done in. And this all ties in with, like, everything was made digitally, right? So this is why I said that hopefully this doesn't happen, but I guess only time will tell, right? But yeah. But back to that first one though, with the whole immigration thing and the people being rounded up, families separated. I saw that too. You know, people were crying and weeping, and like, yeah, it wasn't pretty at all. None of the parts of the dreams for 7 days that I had, none of them were good. None of them were good. People fleeing a silhouette of a beast figure. Yeah. Like a lot of things that I just could not understand at the time. Like, why are these people running? You know, what is this silhouette of this beast that I cannot make out? I can't see. I can tell it's some sort of quote unquote beast, but again, it's just a silhouette. I couldn't see it. It was a dark figure, but people were running from it, running through the hills and just trying to get away from it, and so on and so forth. And this happened after the dream that I had of the second round of roundups. It was a rounding up of a different cause that I just explained. And then that's when I saw the people running through the hills. Yeah, it just, yeah. Yeah. But, so, yeah. But backing it all up, man. I mean, how did we get to this situation to begin with? Right? we got into the situation to begin with because they allowed it. They allowed it. They had to, problem, reaction, solution. They were creating the problem. They were purposely allowing all these hundreds of thousands of immigrants to cross over the border and create mayhem in our economic department, in our social department, et cetera, while at the same time, they were causing more inflation while we're getting more extra people in here, filling up the job markets and whatnot. So that made it harder and harder on, already American citizens here in the country. Okay. And yeah. And now all of a sudden, now it's a problem, right? Now it's a problem. It's been a problem decades ago. When they were lying, talking about, we got maybe a couple thousand coming to the, no. It was hundreds of thousands of them. But now all of a sudden they're a problem and we got to send them back. But see, it was perfect because they were not only coming here freely, with protection, might I add, long enough. See, they got used. See, they came here long enough to where they could just use them up. They gave them money, shit that Americans already here never got. Okay, treated like total shit by their own government. Okay, but they were giving these immigrants. Is that a drone? No, it's an extra plane. They were giving these immigrants thousands of dollars. Okay, that's how they were able to come here, set up businesses. And yeah, I know a lot of them were doing it legitimately. I'm not saying nothing against that, but a lot of them that were not here legitimately were still coming here, able to set up businesses and so on and so forth. I mean, it got to a point where there's literally, they were able to set up their own banks and everything, but it was perfect, right? And it's not just Mexicans. It's migrants and immigrants from all over the world that were just welcomed here to the U.S. And why were they doing that? They were doing that to spoof up the debt that you see today, $36 fucking trillion of debt, again, that we would never be able to pay for, right? There's your excuse to cause inflation, right? And again, the inflation is only going to get worse, right? Because I know a lot of y'all people want to talk about the Simpsons prediction, and that's why everybody thought it was going to be Kamala Harris. But what a lot of y'all aren't listening to or did not pay attention to is the fact that in the stupid clip, Kamala, quote unquote, Kamala, Lisa, right, playing that part, because that's why she kept coming out in her purple suit to predictive programming once again, right? They were doing that on purpose. That's why it does not matter who the hell was actually selected, okay? Not elected, selected, because it's a selection cycle. It doesn't matter. They're all family. It's a total joke is what it is. That's why it does not matter who the hell votes, okay? Okay, we're part of the big picture group. We see what's really going on, right? But again, not getting out of hand. In the actual clip, she's saying that Trump we're totally broke now, because Trump has ran up the tab so fucking bad that we literally have nothing left. So she's mentioning Trump. She's talking about after him. See how that works? People thought it was going to happen now. But see, people weren't paying attention to what the clip was actually saying. Okay? So again, they come in, they let all these immigrants in, right? They fill up the jobs. They're basically the new slaves, That's the one reason why they wanted them in. They wanted new slaves, right? New modern slaves, because everybody else here was tapped the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? All right, this is why we sitting here paying for everything that they're doing. You know, we're over here tapped out like hell, but they're just over here getting free money. But that's good because, well, that's good. That was good for them because they were taking that money and injecting it back into the system. They were keeping the machine running. That is why, that's the really and truly the only reason they let them over here, so they can keep the goddamn machine running. More excuses to print more money. As you print more money every time, you cause more harm and destruction to your own currency, right? I mean, what is the karma? Well, I mean, think about it. All these Venezuelans were coming here. Why were they coming here? Because their country was screwed. Their country screwed themselves. They literally jacked their currency to absolutely nothing through hyperinflation, through printing money. The stock market did excellent. It just melted up, basically, as their economy literally fell down into the dirt. Now, what is the irony that all that is actually happening here right now? Printing and printing and printing and printing and printing and printing. And then one day, their whole currency just absolutely collapsed. All right. And from there, their entire economy just fell apart. I mean, they literally were pushed to savagery. If you could see those old videos, they were out there breaking into farms and killing and eating raw fucking animals. Right? They were literally pushed into chaos. But then you wonder why they trying to come here. Well, yeah. Obvious. That the reason is obvious. They were looking for a better life. And that's the main reason why they were fooled and tricked into coming here. Because they knew that, oh, you know, we come to the United States, we can get a better life and yada, 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 you know. We can make everything better for ourselves and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, on the backside of that, you know, nobody in the world likes us as it is. So there was conflict amongst us and other people, causing more trouble. But they didn't care about that. It's always only about the damn money. It's always about the money. It ain't about nothing else. The money and control. That's all the United States cares about, is the money and control. And that's the reason why they want to dip further into this digital system, because it is going to give them 100% control. And again, I've already made a rant video of this, like a year or two ago. And then 4 years ago, I already, talked about that, but that is neither here nor there, and that's beside the point, okay? But that is why they want to move into the system. They are foaming at the mouth. They want this shit so bad because, again, it is going to give them total control over your money, over everybody's money, okay? It's going to eventually get to a point where you're going to have restrictions on how you can use your own money. Because again, you will own nothing and be happy. How is that going to happen? Well, of course, they got to take everything from you first and then give it back to you, but not really, right? Yeah. Look, we'll give you this, we'll give you a house, we'll give you a car, but you could buy all this and own all this, but not really. Not really, because we're the ones that are still going to basically own it. So when you fuck up and your social credit score gets too low, too bad, well, we're just going to have to come and take that away from you and whatever else. Yeah. To track, trace, and yeah, I forgot the article, but That's why, y'all, I I'm guilty of this myself. I originally thought that, investing into the cryptocurrency scene was actually a good thing. It really wasn't. It was just a trick. I mean, this is not, understand right now, this is not to say you can't definitely capitalize off this opportunity. You've got to do something, right? So why not? If you can't beat them, join them. You might as well be on the receiving end of the wealth transfer so that you can actually put yourself in a better place. You don't want to be this, you don't want to end up like the ones, like right now, with the federal funding freeze, that were relying on the tit of the government to give them everything. You don't want to be on that you don't want to be on that end. You don't want to have to rely on your government basically supplying you with everything you want, because that's going to give them a perfect opportunity to control everything you get, how you get it, etc. So, yeah. That's what's coming, y'all. That's what's coming. So, and who knows what else? I mean, in terms of, well, I forgot to talk about the drone situation. Let me tell y'all now, the drones they're not drones, first of all. So please stop calling them drones. There was drones up there, but the orbs are not drones. Those are the wheels in the wheels. That's why a lot of people are making videos saying, well, an orb flew over here the other night. Now look, the lights are flashing, they're flickering, they're going crazy. Yeah, that's called high energy. That's high frequency. That's a high frequency being, light being, that is flying over your shit and is causing mayhem to the electric system like they always do. Right? So, and I have some videos of that too. And stuff. I have one where, I was talking to them, and they actually respond. Okay, that is not government. That is not human at all, whatsoever. And another thing you have to understand: they're not going anywhere. Nope, they're not going anywhere. They're still up there even now. I know they can control the weather. I know it. I see it all the time. I mean, it was 10 degrees last week, and now today and day before this week, basically, it's back up to the 60s again, where it should have been to begin with, because we don't live, I'm in the South, North Carolina, at the border of South Carolina. Like, come on now. Last few years, it's been following the same pattern because of pole shift, right? So that pattern is not going to change. It's going to continuously get warmer. They're just going to keep manipulating the weather to make everything seem normal, like they try to do everything else, but that's not how it works. So, anyhow, yeah, so I think I pretty much covered everything, but yeah, I'm already up to 40 minutes. See, that's what happens when you got so much to say and not enough time to say it. Anyways, all right, y'all, I'm out. Peace. Y'all be cool. I'll see y'all next time.